guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Vagisha Mishra. I review and decode beauty pageants at my channel. So if you're watching me for the first time and you don't want to miss out on any pageant updates or review, please go ahead and subscribe so you will be the first to get notified whenever a video goes live at my channel. So finally, Miss Universe organization has announced its finale date. They have not officially announced it, but it is leaked by some of the national director and it is scheduled to take place on May 16th in the United States of America. So we all know that how strong the Asia Pacific group is, and today I'm going to talk about the contestants of the Asia Pacific group and I will be giving my review on what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video because I had done this video initially when there were 3 or 4 or 5 candidates in the Asia Pacific group, I think a year back. So it has been a while and most of you commented and asked for me to come up with a review on Asia Pacific group. So basically in this video I will be giving the post-crowning, development and consistency of each of the delegates who are there in the Asia Pacific group and whom I think can do quite well at the pageant of Miss Universe 2020. So let's start with Indonesia, Ayu Malida. Now talking about Indonesia, she has won her pageant fair and square, and after the crowning ceremony, despite of the ongoing pandemic, we have seen her doing a lot many photo shoots, many TVCs and also many other philanthropic causes which she keeps on talking about on her social media handle. So I definitely like the presence of Ayu Malida and I feel that Indonesia has constantly improved their game year after year at not only Miss Universe pageant but at all the other pageants as well. So Ayu Malida in that perspective is definitely contributing a lot when it comes to taking efforts. The only thing which I want her to be consistent is her speaking abilities, because when I hear her speaking, I am still a little bit more curious to know what she actually feels in her heart. Indonesia got its highest placement at the Miss Universe pageant with Frederica Kull last year, and we all want Ayu Malida to raise the bars even higher. Now when we talk about the speaking abilities of Ayu Malida, when we hear her speaking in the press conferences, the only thing which I find problematic is that whenever she's asking the questions posed to her, she's not directly answering the questions and her answering capabilities are a little bit vague, which I want her to work upon. And if she consistently goes on to work upon these loopholes, I think she can give a very good competition. Now let's talk about India. Now India has remained a neglected trash at Miss Universe pageant, and it's not like the Miss Universe organization doesn't want Indian representatives to go ahead, but for some reason or the other, the Indian representatives we have sent in the last decade, they seem to be pretty much lacking in some aspect or the other. However, this year the scenario seems to be a little different because this time I'm so pleased and so beautifully surprised that Adeline Castellano is actually giving her best to make India gain its momentum at Miss Universe pageant once again. After a very long time, I feel so pleased to see that India is not merely talked about but also promoted and appreciated. The moment people are there to question her abilities, Adeline Castellano is right there to prove them wrong, either by showcasing some of her projects or by coming up with photo shoots or some fashion weeks. She has been consistently active since the time of her crowning, and whenever we see her giving her best, it looks like that she has a lot of thirst and hunger for the crown in her eyes, and I believe that this thirst will take her forward in the journey. Talking about Vietnam, Nguyen Tra Kha Vam. When I flip through her Instagram feed, I feel like I'm flipping through the pages of a magazine like Vogue. She knows how to carry herself with magnificence when it comes to her walk, when it comes to her stage presence, her photo shoots. She is giving her best. She has got the style and she has got the presence. And when I heard some of her interviews which were being translated from Vietnamese to English, I observed that she is a very fluent and good speaker. The only thing which I had to point out, however, is her nervousness and her consciousness comes into picture when she's talking in front of the camera or in front of the press. I think that can be worked upon with a little bit of practice, but overall she has a composure which demands a lot of attention. If Vietnam is able to work upon her shortcomings, working upon her nervousness, it will actually benefit her in the events like closed door interview, where the challenging questions posed upon you sometimes create you in a very stressful situation through which you need to come out. and this will be possible only when she will work upon it. However, we still have 3 months left for the competition, and if she goes on to work consistently over it, I am sure that Vietnam will certainly give other people a run for money. Now, talking about Sarita Red from Cambodia, I have to say that this beautiful lady is so much better than some of the so-called front runners of the competition because she speaks like a dream. I went through some of her interviews and I must say that I love hearing her talk. Because when she's talking, she does not look like she's rehearsed, mechanical or forceful. She just speaks straight through her heart. And this is what I love the most about her. She's very natural, very spontaneous and very confident in her demeanor. She surely looks like a breeze of fresh air, and we can see that in her eyes. And looking at all these characteristics, I must say that she will definitely place in the Miss Universe 2020 competition. Her interviews are bliss to ears and her performance are bliss to eyes. So I feel that she is a very strong competitor in the entire batch, and we must definitely not ignore her, because after IMG has took over the Miss Universe pageant, we have seen sashes doing well which are not really popular or talked about. So this time for Cambodia. Now next we have Amanda Obdam from Thailand. Now I have been repeating this thing since many times ever since Amanda won her national title, that ever since she has been crowned, none of her appearance has been disappointing at all. In all of the appearances we have seen either on press or on photo shoots, she is killing it all, and when it comes to her overall styling and persona, she slays it completely. The crown for Thailand had been long overdue and they could have finally won it with Amanda if she had great speaking skills. Although she is very fluent in English, but can I relate to her as an audience? I don't really feel that yet. So if she works upon her communication skills, then we can definitely say that. Now coming to Rabia Mateo from the Philippines, she has the title as the Ambassador of Education in her country, and whenever I hear her talking, I feel very motivated and inspired. She has a beautiful face, amazing styling, and when we see her photo shoots or pictures or whenever she appears in press conferences or in press interview, she gives her best. Overall, I really want her to work upon her voice modulation and pitch of talking, because that is the only aspect where I feel that she can work upon, because she's great in other aspects overall. So Rabia Mateo is also somebody who is a beautiful, promising candidate from Asia Pacific region. Now let's come to Australia, Maria Thuttle. And when we talk about Maria Thuttle from Australia, personality is the word which pops up in all our minds, because she is so engaging in terms of her personality when she speaks in her videos, when she talks in her live sessions, or whenever she posts her videos on her social media handle. We all are glued to hear what she has to say. The very interesting fact about Australia is that she has a very dynamic personality, because at one time she will be very graceful, on the other hand she will be goofy, and very soon she just quickly changed into being sexy and sassy. So this is something which I really like about Maria Thuttle, because she's very transformable when it comes to her energy, and every time I see her, I'm super impressed by her persona. Everything about her is likable, and when we talk about the entire batch, despite of given the strong competition she is going to face, she is still very determined and confident despite of her short height, and that is something which I really like about her. She has a body to die for, and whenever she is presenting herself on any public domain, it looks like she is completely prepared for the competition. She's always experimenting with her looks, and she's a versatile version of herself every single day. So I feel that she stands for an essence of a modern beauty queen, and that is why I feel that she stands a very strong chance to go ahead in the competition. Now let's talk about South Africa, Natasha Joubert. Now, are we going to have a back-to-back at Miss Universe? Very much possible. With this beautiful face and with this queenly aura, the calm and the composure she carries in her personality, we can definitely not ignore South Africa. She has a very queenly vibe, and I can just see her sitting on an equal plane with that of Roland Strauss or Demi Leigh Nilpeters. So South Africa is sending a stunning and a very strong candidate to Miss Universe pageant, and I feel that she is going to give a tough competition, a nerve-wracking competition to her fellow contestants. So that was all for Asia Pacific region. Now let me tell my ranking about the same. Now if I were to give my ranking for Asia Pacific region, on number 1 I'll have South Africa because I think she is doing everything to retain the Miss Universe crown back in her country for one more year. On number 2 I will have India, Adeline Castellino, because she is giving her best to be on the top despite of the shortcomings Indian representatives have faced at Miss Universe. On number 3 I have Sarita Red from Cambodia because despite of having a very small sash, she is so confident, so spontaneous and so full of life that I am eager to see what she has to bring on the table when she competes at Miss Universe pageant. At number 4, I have Australia, followed by Thailand, followed by Philippines. At number 7, I have Indonesia. At number 8, I have Vietnam. At number 9, I have Japan, and at number 10, I have Korea. So these are my favorites from the Asia Pacific region, and these are the ranking which I have to give to the contestants coming from the Asia Pacific region. So tell me in the comment section who are your favorites from the Asia Pacific region, and I'll be happy to read and know your favorites. So thank you for watching. I will soon come up with more videos. Until next time.